An individual senior project. We hope you've had ample time to view, look through all the various senior projects that were on display in the lobby. They'll be on display for a little bit after the whole ceremony, if you want to take a look on the way after the ceremony. Some of the seniors also would like to perform part of their project on stage for you this evening, and would like you to recognize that the people who are performing on stage are doing a small segment of what have often been longer recitals that they've held earlier in the spring, or a longer drama production which they've done earlier in the spring. So what you'll see on stage is a smaller segment, an example from longer pieces of work. So we'd like to start then the senior projects that will be presented on stage. And to start us off will be Savannah Sawyer with an original song, Echoing Silence. And Savannah will be accompanied by Andy Culpepper on slide guitar. Savannah Sawyer. One other, Savannah had her new CD that just came out on Friday. I don't know whether it's out in the lobby or not, but you might check out Savannah James' new CD, which is also part of her work this year. Next, with a very special kind of project to present on stage is Nina Sorrell, and she'll tell you a little more about that. Nina Sorrell.
Hi, I'm Nina. For my senior project, I decided to knit an outfit for my younger sister to model at this graduation. Sister Lucy. Hello. And she's wearing a cardigan and a matching shell, which I designed and knitted. Or maybe it's knit, I'm not sure. But thank you.
Wait until the younger one has a senior project. Okay. Next, as a small piece out of a much longer drama piece, a monologue with Maggie Block. Maggie Block.
You may not see it. In fact, you probably don't because it's kind of metaphorical, but I'm standing on the edge of a cliff. Behind me is my path, is my woodsy, well-beamed, happy, hippie path. In front of me is a big abyss of unknown, yet I am supposed to just jump. With no guarantees whatsoever that I will fly. I'm supposed to just leave everything that I've ever known and loved behind for something I've only really read about in a pamphlet. This is insane. This is when everyone should be looking up at me and saying, Maggie, no, please God, step away from the edge, but no. Everyone's saying, go ahead, it's great, when it is not. I like where I am. I don't want to just throw all of that away because it's time. Why is it time? Who says it's time? Why isn't my time be different from other people's times? I mean, okay. So maybe I have been here for a pretty long time, and it is getting kind of old, but that's a really long way down. And I know you don't really fall so much as gradually glide, but the thing is, what if I plummet? That happens, plummeting, people just not knowing how to use their wings, and the thing is, what if I don't know how to use my wings? What if I never figure it out? And the sucky thing is, the only way to figure it out is to jump, because I'm never going to figure out how to stretch my wings by just standing still. Okay, so to recap, can't go back. Don't want to stay here for the rest of my life, so that means I have to jump. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna count to 3 because if I don't do it now, I'm never going to. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Damn it! Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Next is a violin piece. It's actually the cadenza from Sigon by Ravel by Lila Nasser Fidel. Lila? while we're setting up for the next performance, hopefully you picked up one of the programs as you came in the door. All of the seniors' projects are listed, at least a brief description of each of them. We'd invite you to look there, and also on the back, another one of our graduation requirements is service learning and community service. And so also there's a listing of all the different community service activities. Actually, many of them couldn't be included because it would take up several pages, but at least you have some examples of that. So next, singing the song At Last, Zia Anger, accompanied on the guitar by Dara Anisi. Zia? And our last performance on stage, and certainly not our least, will be a Latino step dance with Ana Flores and company. Ana.
Santa Bárbara,
Do we have the mic again? Right, thank you. Okay. Well, that was a wonderful way to start. So now that you've had a chance to see some of the senior projects out in the hallway, out in the lobby, and to see them on stage, let me officially, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the Alternative Community School, welcome you to the graduation ceremonies for the graduating class of 2004 ACS. It has become a tradition here to start our graduation ceremonies by reminding ourselves that we are, in fact, on Native American land, land of the Cudas, part of the Iroquois nations, and to begin then an invocation that I first learned from a caretaker at Camp Akita, a camp in the Hocking Hills of Ohio, who said he had learned it from Chief Yellow Lark, who was an Oglala Sioux on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. Then on one of the first trips that the school took in the spring to the Akwesasne St. Regis Mohawk Reservation in upstate New York in Canada, that actually crosses the St. Lawrence. Ray Fadden, who passed away a few years ago, but had set up the Seven Nations Museum there, had it carved in stone at the museum. And I asked Ray, where do you think that came from? I've seen that other places. And he said, I think it came from the Northwest Coast Native Americans, Oregon and Washington. So what's become clear to me is that this particular invocation is apparently known quite widely among the Native American peoples of this country. O Great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. I am small and weak, and I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Make my hands respect the things you have made, and my ears sharp to hear your voice. Make me wise so that I may understand the things you have taught my people. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden in every leaf and rock. For I seek strength not to be greater than my brother or sister, but to fight my greatest enemy, myself. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades, with a fading sunset, my spirit might come to you without shame. Next, I'd like to recognize all the parents and grandparents and other relatives without whom you wouldn't be here, who have helped in so many ways this year, beginning with being part of those starting conferences in September, being part of the open house, several of you who helped tutor students or taught projects on Tuesday afternoons or Thursday mornings, served as community sites for students to do their career explorations or their community service projects, or you were part of our ACS Site-Based Council We helped with various fundraising activities, sometimes more fundraising activities than you probably care to remember, beginning with the spaghetti dinner, helping with drama productions, the search for the new principal, spring trips, some of you actually going on the spring trips, the recent dessert discussion night, and the reception for the new principal, helping on the yearbook, and the staff recognition luncheon, bringing food virtually every day also, as well as that particular recognition luncheon during the last week of final performances, tests, exams, writing evaluations. Wonderful to have the food there during last week's activities. So with all that you parent caregivers have done this year, and with all that in mind, I would like to, again, in our tradition of presenting an honorary diploma, a number of years back it dawned on me that just because colleges and universities give honorary diplomas, I didn't think there was any reason why a high school couldn't give an honorary high school diploma. So we have done that now for a number of years. And this particular honorary diploma is really a way of sort of recognizing the next generation of our parent caregivers. And this is for someone who has helped with virtually every one of those things that I sort of listed as ways in which parent caregivers have assisted us. And last year began the weekly ACS online newsletter, The Bottom Line. Let me welcome Jill Dow, honorary diploma for tireless support. Jill? I say next generation because Jill is actually a former student of ours, going back to the really early days of the new junior high program. So this really is the next generation, the parent caregivers. Thanks, Jill. And I'd also, of course, like to recognize all the ACS staff, without whom you would also not be here, with a special thanks to really all of them, virtually all of them, for their help with this particular evening's celebration and ceremony. The ACS staff, all of you. And over the last 2 days, we've had considerable help here at IC at Fort Hall with the various audiovisual and stage settings. In particular, I'd like to thank Eric and Elisa, who are in the back here helping with this. Thanks very much, guys. And lastly, by way of calling a couple things to your attention, you'll see that on the table not only are the roses and the diplomas, which are in the white envelopes, but there are also these lovely wrapped books. It's been our tradition since 1983, when William de Winter passed away of a degenerative nerve disease, and his family set up a memorial fund that would provide, at least start funds, to provide a very special individually selected book for every one of our seniors. And we have done that every year since, so for the past 21 years. And in each of the seniors' books in the front is a little nameplate with their name in memory of Will de Winter, 1967, 1983. So it's part of this evening's presentations to each one of our seniors. And now, unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I will endeavor to find a few appropriate remarks for this senior class of 2004. Let me begin with what I believe are perhaps familiar words for all of you. At ACS, our mission is to educate students to be global citizens for the 21st century. Global citizens. And with this in mind, we ask our potential graduates the essential question, just how can you exhibit that you have the skills, knowledge, and attitudes to be a global citizen? But look at the world today. Look at what's happening in the global world. We have Iraq, Afghanistan, Israel, Spain, the Congo, Korea, Cuba, even Los Angeles, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, New York City, and right here in Ithaca. What can it mean to be a global citizen today with so many things going on, such as the war, the terrorism, nuclear weapons, global warming, environmental destruction, starvation, AIDS? Not a very pretty picture for graduates of the year 2004. But before you throw up your arms in despair, there is positive news. Positive news from the world around. Maybe some of you have not had a chance to see this small tabloid. It actually has been published in England for some time. That's where it was originated. And now our very own Marty Luster, our former assemblyman, is the co-editor of the U.S. edition of this particular tabloid publication. And in the editorial note of the spring edition, the spring's edition, is the following statement. Perhaps the greatest adventure we humans have ever undertaken is building a global culture that recognizes our essential equality across class, race, gender, etc., respects our individual uniqueness, assures peace and justice for all, and brings harmony to the globe. Note, a global culture recognizes our essential equality. So there's positive news. Just a few examples from that particular issue that relate to some things dealing with fair trade. From what may seem relatively simple, there are now being fair trade bananas available in this community, or the organic cotton being produced by cotton farmers from cooperatives in southern India, or Cafe Direct, England's largest fair trade hot drinks company, now launching a public share process to raise some 5 million British pounds in support of the small shareholder farmers in Mexico and other Central and South American countries. But it was actually an ACS graduate, Danny Fireside, who first really got the fair trade items coming to Ithaca, particularly coffee, fair trade coffee. It was an ACS graduate just last year, Claire Stocia, who as a senior in high school organized the first fair trade fair on the Ithaca Commons. Graduates of ACS. So here, let me remind you of some things from our ACS philosophy, which is based on certain beliefs and ideals, particularly recognizing that the change in our world is inevitable, but that we believe that it can be directed to promoting the common welfare. The common welfare, not of just one select elite segment of society, but the common welfare. Central part of our belief statements here at ACS. And among those belief statements on the panels in our gym, which hopefully some of you have read, those of you who are here tonight as well as the students, when you enter our gymnasium, there's the very first one. Perhaps a little hard to read on this slide, but it states in particular, we believe we have a responsibility to promote a broader worldview and positive change. A broader worldview and positive change. Now, also in our gym are a series of paintings done by John Lewis of the ACS graduating class of I believe it was 94, paintings of educators who have been influential in the thinking of myself and the ACS staff. One of these is the painting that picks up on this theme, broader worldview and positive change. And that's of Margaret Mead, who we saw all too quickly. But you'll see more paintings of Margaret. Margaret Mead is well known to us particularly for this quote, and this is from the poster that's in the South Science Room. It was just put up this year, but we've seen it and heard it before. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Small group, thoughtful, committed citizens changing the world. I've also provided in the gift books that you'll be receiving tonight a bookmark with the saying as a bit of a reminder from this evening. It was actually at the age of 24, and here's a picture of Margaret from 1925, that she began her research on adolescence and wrote her first book, Coming of Age in Samoa. And here's a picture actually of her with a young Samoan girl, in which the revolutionary work on different cultural look at adolescence. So I want you to keep that quote in mind. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Studs Terkel is the author of 11 books of oral history, in which he has interviewed countless people on such topics as jobs, race, age, death. And many of you may remember this particular book. I think it was used in one or more of the classes that you had at ACS. His most recent book is Hope Dies Last. But can you look at the subtitle, small lettering on what would be the side of the book? Keeping the Faith in Troubled Times. Hope Dies Last. Keeping the Faith in Troubled Times. From the frontispiece to the book, the following quote: "The interviews in Hope Dies Last with congressmen and cooks, union organizers and CEOs, students, immigrants, activists, veterans, priests, and lawyers constitute an alternative history of the American 20th century. They form a legacy for the indefatigable spirit that Studs has always embodied, an inheritance for those who, by taking a stand," sound familiar? Taking a stand, are making concrete dreams of today. Now, some of those interviewed will be familiar names, from Kucinich to Admiral LaRock, Tom Hayden, Carl Guthrie, John Galbraith, Pete Seeger, Jerry Brown, and Fran Moore-Lepay, who actually spent a day or two with us at ACS and included us in her book about looking for democracy in action across the country. Reading then from Studd's actual introduction to the book, hope has never trickled down. Hope has never trickled down. It's always sprung up. That's what Jessie Illa Cruz, a retired United Farm worker from the days of Cesar Chavez, meant when she said, "I feel there's going to be a change, but we're the ones going to do it, not the government. With us, there's a saying, La esperanza muere última." Hope dies last. You can't lose hope. If you lose hope, you lose everything. One of the young people that Studd's interviewed and talks about in the book is someone I'd never heard of, you probably have not heard of. Greg Halper from upstate Buffalo, New York, who was an undergraduate at the age of 19 at Harvard, was one of the leaders and organizers of the Harvard Living Wage Campaign sit-in strike in 2001. It was a living wage for the workers on the Harvard campus, custodians, other laborers, others on the Harvard campus. And here's a quote from Greg in Studd's interview, which I'd like to focus your attention for a few minutes. A couple of parts. He begins by saying, "I'd much rather be a naive fool than to be cynical. I don't mind being called a fool if I'm foolishly believing in a better world. I know it sounds cheesy, but why else be alive?" Greg goes on to say, "Honestly, what else is there? What else is there? It's worth living to be happy, to have a nice home, to have a good marriage, and to raise kids, and I want to do those things. But the bigger questions, what's the point of being alive if you're not hopeful that you can do a little something to make the world a little better?" Do a little something to make the world a little better. Lastly, I know some of you were at the sort of spontaneous, somewhat impromptu music concert that we held back on May 14th, thanks to John Simon and Dara Nisi, who helped me put that together, and which there was a particular piece. Maybe we can take a look at something from that concert if we can. We discovered that at the concert that the actual lighting was rather poor until they finally turned on the stage lights about halfway through. And I'd like to play this particular song and have a chance for you to listen to it. In your fancy dream, could it be all full of lust and greed? Can't you see the working man beneath your feet? Lord is lying there at me. Won't you change, oh change your way? Won't you change?
Hey there, Congressman, in your fancy car. Could be gone a bit too far. Can't you see the people crying out in your hometown as your car cuts leaves a scar? Won't you change or change your way? Won't you change your way? If you notice here, you'll have to change your way. Our world's a number in the day. Till you change your way. Till you change or change your way. Hey there, doctor, out on the lake. Could it be not the people in your way? Can't you see the mother and child standing in a queue? Love their dying, but they take. Till you change or change your way. Till you change or change your way. Hey there, teacher in your school full of control. Could it be you lost sight of your soul? Can't you see the children crying to be free as you grade them ABC of their own? You change or change your way. Won't you change or change your way? 'Cause I hear tell people born to degree. That includes you and me. Won't you change your way? Won't you change your way? Hey there, Mr. President, in your old chair. Could it be you really just don't care? Can't you see the people of war lying in the heat? Could it be to you life is so cheap? Won't you change and change your way? Won't you change or change your way? Maybe I'm listening, you children and you. Could it be yet to hear this true? There'll be no winner in a nuclear or racial war. Speak out now, stop it forevermore. Won't you change or change your way? Won't we change our way? Won't we change our way? Won't we change our way? Won't we change?
Thank you. Thank you. I was going to do it live, but it's a little tough to do with the robe on, and I wasn't sure I'd get through it anyway. But I do want to let you know that that's actually one of 18 songs on the CD that we made from the concert that each of you will get a copy of tonight when you receive your book, Dr. Dave and Family Ops. The staff will get their copies at the breakfast tomorrow morning. And if any of you would like to make a donation to the music program at ACS, we'll have it on sale out in the lobby. So, graduating class of 2004, the challenge for you folks, simply to be global citizens. For it's my hope that given your years and your involvement here at ACS, that you will go out into this world and truly be global citizens, contributing both socially, politically to our society and the world, promoting a broader worldview and positive change, developing that global culture, as talked about in the positive news, being the kind of thoughtful person that Greg Halpern was when he said, do a little something to make the world a little better. And I believe that's what he will do. So now will the ACS graduating class of 2004 please come on stage? We'll have to take some questions.